Hello and welcome back to another Try and Fix It. Today what we're going to be doing is restoring the vintage lamp that I put a quick video out. If you've not seen the video before, it was just basically asking everybody if they wanted me to restore it or to keep it as it was. And a lot of people commented below saying they want to see it restored. So what I'm going to be doing is restoring this old vintage ex-military Bialaddin 300X, and I'll take you on for the journey. Let's go. So here's a 300X lamp that I was on about. What I'll do is I'll just talk you through how we'll take all the bits and we'll get it all took apart, lay all the bits on the table, talk you through them quickly, what it is and what they do, and then after that we'll probably go into a time lapse so we can get all this paint off. We'll get all these paint off here, back down to brass, and then we'll polish all the other pieces up as well, and then hopefully it'll look really good, ready for sale. Now these do retail, condition as it is at the minute, between 60 and maybe £120 maybe as it is. Once polished up and looking really nice, mirror shine sort of on it. They do normally sell between 120 and 160 on a good day. So yeah, for less further ado, let me just start stripping this down. We'll go through the pieces, and if we need any parts, we'll get some more bits ordered for it, like washers and stuff if we need it. But this lamp is running, and I think what I might do actually while we're here, I'll get it working for you. So I'll bring you back in a second, and then I'll show you how we put some meths in there and how we go about getting it started up. I'll bring you back in a sec. Right, so the way we get this started is we're going to use this. Now this is methylated spirit. So obviously on here it's fuel for alcohol burners, camping stoves. You can also clean with it, and it's a stain remover, etc. But all I'm going to use is this little dog's medicine syringe. So I'm just going to fill that up, and already that's 10 mil or something. I don't really know what's in there. Right, so what I'm going to do is, you see the, zoom in for you a bit. So that's the methylated spirit wick. So all you do is you can go to the extent and take all this off and then do it and then put it all back together. So you can take like the hood and that off if you want, but I'm just going to use this. I'm going to turn it around here, lift it up, I'm going to squirt straight on it. So that's one. And then we're going to go again, same sort of thing, do it all again. So that's the methylated spirit in, so I'll just move that out of the way. So that's all out of the way now and safe. Then what we'll do is we'll light that. The vaporizer here, which I can show you because I've got one right here. So this is the vaporizer inside. Now inside the vaporizer there's a long needle with a spring inside, which it is coming out. There we go. So inside the vaporizer you will have this long, which is the length of the vaporizer itself, which is a needle. And what the needle does, so I'll just put it side by side. Just imagine that this needle is inside the tube. So the needle will sit this low, yeah. So once you start twisting the control cock there, that will protrude up. So that will come up, and there's a little tiny hole at the top there where the needle pokes out, and then that shoots your paraffin out the top. So that was sitting there. I don't know if I'll be able to show you or not because it's really tiny. No, so you won't be able to see that. But anyway, yeah, so that's a vaporizer, and I need to get that hot. If I don't get that hot, then this lamp don't work properly. So yeah, so you have to heat this up. Now sometimes a methylated spirit you can get away with it once, but sometimes you'll have to do it 2 or 3 times depending on how thick your vaporizer is. So what I'll do is I'll get this lit. I need a lighter. I'll bring you back in a second. Right, so all I've got here is a long lighter. So you'll just get it underneath and light your methylated spirit. And at the side here, this is your breather. This is the breather hole here. So all you do is you'll cut that off as well, because you don't want no air escaping. This lamp has to be really airtight. It can't have air escaping, or else it won't work at all. So I don't know if you'll be able to see, but that flame now is going. So that's just heating up the methylated tube. Sorry, that's heating up the vaporizer tube here, the long one, because that mantle there is only made out of material where once you light it, if you disturb it, then it'll go into ash. So you just leave that to do its thing. It normally takes a couple of minutes just to heat that tube up, and what I might have to do is just put some more in on here as well again, and then I'll show you how we can start it up. So once that tube is hot enough, I'll bring you back and then we'll go for a start up on it. We'll see if it will light up. I'm hoping it will. And then we can also, while we're here, check for leaks and stuff, because it's already got paraffin inside the tank anyway. So if nobody knows, this is the tank here. So that's just still doing its thing. That's nearly burnt out. So what I'll do, so that save time, I'll bring you back when that's ready to get fire. Right, so I've just lit it up again. And obviously, I don't even know when the last time this was fired up. So what I'm going to do is pump it. So this is the pump. So we'll pump it 5 or 6 times, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll slowly release the paraffin out the top. Maybe a few more pumps to get it going. Right, so that's still not quite hot enough. So I'm going to chuck some more in. So this is the 3rd time. So obviously I'm only using the syringe. I've not actually completely soaked the wick, because you don't really want to drench the wick anyway. So be careful, because the glass will be hot. So be really, really careful. And don't be scared, because it might flop up. There we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep pumping. And then what I'm going to do is slowly open it up. Here we go. Right, so we might have a bit of, don't be scared, because you might have a bit of flames to begin with. because obviously it's still burning out. So what you can do, you can control that. You can just turn it down. If it's getting a bit too fiery, you can just lower the needle back in a bit, because obviously there's still quite a lot of flame kicking about in there. And then all you can do, when everything dies down a bit, you could just turn it open a little bit, because there's a lot of pressure in there. And I don't even know when this got used last. So I can't get that at the minute. So what I'm going to do, chuck a bit more meth in, because I haven't got, I'm only going to use a little bit. So obviously this lamp probably hasn't been started up for the last, like, I don't know, 10 years or so. I'm not even sure. I don't know when the last time it was lit. I had no information. So all I'm guessing is that it hasn't been lit for years. So I've opened that a little bit, and obviously you will get quite a lot of pressure kicking out there as well. So you can control it, look. So I'm just letting it come out, because the methylated spirit at the bottom on the wick is still burning. So all I'm doing is just controlling it, just nice and steady, to open it all up, and that's it. Now that is a fully working Bialaddin 300X, made by Pyrex, well, the glasses anyway. So this was an ex-military British Army Bialaddin 300X, in the colour green, obviously, for camouflage. So when you've got it up to your temperature, just give it a few more pumps. And then all you do is you just keep adjusting it to where you want it. And that will burn for six hours? Maybe 4 to 6 hours on a full pump. So if you just stood there and just keep pressurising it for X amount of time, which is probably around about 15 to 20 pumps maybe, if not a couple more. But you want that paraffin to travel up that vaporizer tube and keep supplying with that flame for your mantle. So obviously, what did we do? All we did was put some methylated spirit onto the wick 3 times. Then, actually no, 4 times. And then all we did was let that tube, like this tube that I showed you. Can't remember where I put it now. Anyway, yeah. So that vaporizer tube in the middle there is now hot enough for that paraffin to keep travelling up to the top of the burner, which is up here, which I can show you when it cools down in a bit. And then it fires straight back down, and it's got little tiny circle holes like these underneath the burner, which then shoots the paraffin back onto that mantle there, and then it keeps it glowing like a torch for as long as you like. You don't really have to do anything else with it. But I will say one thing: be careful of the top. Always use the handle that's supplied, because that will never get hot. The handle doesn't get hot, but the hood at the top will get very, very hot. So just be careful if you do buy one of these and you are watching this video on how to start it up, then please be careful, because that hood there will be very, very hot. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the pressure out. There's 2 ways you can turn this off. two ways. One, you can use a control valve. Use a control valve and watch how dim it gets. See? I can just have it where I want it. And also at the side here where the fuel cap is, you'll also see where the air outlet or pressure outlet can be released. So if you don't want any more pressure in your tank, you can rather unscrew that, which lets all the air out and that will stop, or you can use your control valve to stop it, but you still have pressure in your tank. Now with the pressure in the tank, it will not actually do it any harm whatsoever, like with compressors and stuff. If you do leave air in your compressors, it won't hurt it. But with these tanks here, fully brass tank, they're quite thick tanks as well. So bear in mind, there is two ways you can switch these off. One, where I just showed you with the control cock there with a valve, you can just switch it straight off, or you can release all the pressure out the fuel cap, which I call that piece there the pressure outlet, which depressurizes the tank, just lets all the air out, and that will literally just stop. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all this switched off. I'm going to let all that cool down because it will burn you. I'm going to let all that cool down. Then for you it'll be a second. For me, about 5-10 minutes for that to cool down. And then what I'll do is I'll take you through how to strip it completely down. And then what we'll do, we'll get some paint stripper on here, on these bits. We're going to leave the hood green because it sells quite well. We'll just give that a nice little hand polish. It's nothing major. Yeah, so I'll show you by turning this. Can you hear it? That's the air coming out. See? So you let all the air out, and it just slowly, that slowly stops. And then all you can do is just turn it off. So that's it. So that's that part done. Yeah, so I'll bring you back in a second. Right, so that's cooled down for 5-10 minutes. So what I'm going to do is just show you bit by bit how to take it apart. And all you will need is some grips and a Phillips screwdriver. I'm sure them screws inside are Phillips. If not, it's rather a Phillips or a flathead. Can't quite remember. Right, so all we need to do is take this hood off first. So there's two screws here, two screw caps here. One goes anti-clockwise, one goes clockwise. So screw them both out and take the hood off like so. To completely take the handle off, you just keep unscrewing. Then that just pops off like that as well. So that's the handle off, and that's the hood off. Take the glass out, which is simple, you just pull it up. And then the methylated cup holder, you just pull straight out the top. That is it. Right, so I can see it is a flathead. So it is a flathead screwdriver, not a cross on this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and get you up on the angle so you can see. Right, so down here, there's 1, 2, and there's a third one there. So 1, 2, 3. So all you're going to do is you just unscrew these. Just screw them away. They're only short screws. Some of them may be really tight, some of them may be rusted in, but with this one, we're quite lucky, because this isn't too bad. Right, all them are unscrewed. They're ready to come out. Maybe a little turn. No, that's fine. So with this vaporizer as well, all I'm going to do is going to get the grips, put it on top, give it one little twist, and then you can just untwist that all the way out. There will be fuel coming out of there, so don't worry about that. Just make sure you hold your needle and that in as well. You don't want to lose that or your spring. So that's that out. Then what you can do is, let me just bring you down a bit. Yeah, so all you're going to do on this bit here is you'll just lean it forward slightly and then just lift it over the control valve, and your screws are this big. They're tiny. And also you will drop them because they are small, but yeah, so it's a flathead, and you get 3 of those which go straight into the top, which I'll just zoom in for you and I'll show you. So you got 1, 2, 3. That's it. That's that done. Simple. And then all you do is you'll just push that anti-clockwise. Ooh, some of them are really tight, but you just push that anti-clockwise and just spin it all the way out. And that is the control valve. It's that simple. So that's off. And then obviously you've got your fuel cap, which is like that. It's got a washer in there as well. It's got a full flat washer. And this, what I was on about, is what lets your air out. So if you screw that all the way down, that will stop any air coming out, and that's fully in to the tank. So when you want to let air out, as soon as you unscrew it, you see that coming back, and with that split pin it stops. Then that's that. All the air will come out of there, depressurize your tank, and that's fine. And this here is, which can be quite tight. So yet again, just get your grips, get a grip on that. And then just unscrew that, same again, anti-clockwise. Oh, it's quite tough. Yeah, you unscrew that anti-clockwise, and then you've got your lever cup on the end, you've got your nut there, you've also got your back stop washer here as well. You also have a spring on there which helps it come up and down. You've also got your screw on cap, and obviously your pump sits all the way through. So that is how you take all the parts off the tank with a bit of rubbish on your hand. So yeah, so that's that. That's all complete, done, finished. What we'll do is just move this tank, because that's got fuel in. Move that tank out of the way, and then we'll bring this over here. So this is the hood. Now this is the mantle. As soon as I touch that mantle, that's disintegrated. So obviously we know it works. So when this goes up for sale, I will purchase some more mantles, because as soon as I touch that, that's just going to disintegrate and it won't be no good for nothing. That's the only issue with these, is once that's lit, you've basically took the strength out of it. So watch, as soon as I touch this, look, watch, it's breaking down, look, that's it. Once your mantle is in done that, you have to put a new one on. It's no good anymore. So that's all crumbled away. And it's up to you when you do this, if you wear gloves or not, but I've been doing it for a long time. Right, I'm just going to blow that out. 1 second. Right, so now that's all been blown out. So this is the condition of it. It's full of soot. Full of years of soot in there. And also the time that I just lit it. Now you've got 3 of these screw nuts here. Now sometimes these come out really easy, but majority of the time they're really, really tough. So I'll show you what I do. I'll just use one of these T10s by 50mm because the shaft on it is thin enough to get into the holes, like so. So I'll just pop that through there, and then with a bit of luck you can crack it open. So all I did, put that in and cracked it. So that's fine, that's that one. This one as well, put it in so far and then crack it like so. And obviously the last one, we'll crack that as well. Right, so now these should just screw. Sorry about the noise, it's a bit squeaky because obviously these haven't been off in years. So there's that one. So all it is, it's just a threaded insert, and then you screw it home like you would do normal screwing stuff. It's got breather holes here as well, so it's got several breather holes around the edge which let a bit of air out as well. Yeah, that's that. That is brass. So I'll take the other 3 out. Sorry, the other 3, I've already took one out. I'll take the other 2 out. I was just about to take the last one out. I'll bring you back and then show you how it comes out. Right, so this is just about ready to come out. So all I'm going to do on the last nut, I've unscrewed it so far out anyway. So all I do then, so I bring it straight out. So I've got full hand on it, and that pops out. So there's 1, 2, 3, done. Now all this does, it just pulls straight out. Obviously this is the hood. It's made out of metal. It's got enamel on the top as well. Won this out of an auction quite some time ago now. Just been sat around doing nothing. Yeah, so that's how you get that out. Bit of rust on top. We could probably do something with that, but I like the rustic theme that comes off it. Looks pretty decent as well. So right, so let's get this out of the way. This is the burner. You can also unscrew the tube as well, which slots over there, and it sits there like that. And obviously that controls the paraffin coming out the holes that I mentioned before earlier in the video. So this is where your mantle sits. So there's a ridge here, there's a lip here, look, and then when you get your new mantle, you put the bigger end on here, and then the smaller end sits on that end. So you have your mantle sat in the middle, and your paraffin comes out, goes around the mantle and eats it all up. So that's that. So hopefully, if you do buy a Bialaddin 300X in this same condition, you know where it all comes apart. You'll be more confident in when you do it. And I've also told you about the risks as well. If you do heat this lamp up to try and get it to work, then please be careful. Let it cool down first before you even try to handle it, because it will burn you. And it won't be just a little burn, it'll be a mad burn. Yeah.